to this evening's Health and Freedom. A big shout out to all our attendees in New Zealand tonight and also the people that are jumping on from Sydney, Australia. So our first speaker tonight is Bianca Dewberger. Now she's just got back from traveling around for about 5 months around Europe, expanding her business in the UK and Romania. So she's a health advocate and here to speak to us tonight about health and what's so important that we need to be implementing in our life. The second speaker for this evening will be me, and I'll be sharing with you about how this business works. So we thank you for your time tonight and we'll get started.
Okay, good evening guys, and like Jay said, welcome this evening and thank you so much for taking the time out of what I know can be a very busy life to be here tonight and hear how we can change our health and also improve our life basically. So I'm just going to start off by telling you a bit about myself. I hope you don't mind, so I won't take too much of your time. Well, basically, I got started with the company 2 years ago simply because it was actually a very, very tragic time in my family. My father was vomiting up blood, and you can see down here this picture of my father with me down in the bottom. And my brother, who's up the top there, he saw that and he asked my mum, he said, you know, someone's vomiting blood. Is it you, or is it Bianca, or is it Dad? Like, it's, you know, who is it? So she did ask my father, and he said, yeah, it's been me, and it's been me for about 2-3 weeks. And she said, why haven't you said anything to anyone? And he said, because I don't like the doctors, I don't want to go there, so I didn't say anything. And she's like, Mario, it's actually something that's very serious. You need to get that looked at. So he listened because he got caught out. And we took him to the doctors on the Tuesday night, and he got a referral for his blood test on the Wednesday. Now, on the Wednesday around midday, I took him to get his blood test, and 5 o'clock that night, our whole life changed. 5 o'clock, the pathologist rang my house and said that my father needed to go to hospital. I rang my mum, bawling my eyes out. I didn't know what to do. My daddy was going to hospital. Like, I was distraught. She said, listen, Bianca, she goes, we're coming home now because my parents work together, and I'll take him to the hospital. When he got home, he refused to go. Being a stubborn, older Oriental man, he didn't want to go because he had to go to work the next day and run his business. It was Anzac Day long weekend. It was also Orthodox Easter, which is a very busy time for my parents' business. So he didn't go. We did go to the doctors, and the doctor said, Mario, the fact that you've walked into my office is a miracle. You need to be going to hospital. The next day, he refused to go that night, and it was actually at that point in my life, I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't know what, but I made the decision that I'm not going to live the life my parents lived. I'm not going to have restrictions where if my family needs me or I need to be somewhere that I'm locked down by a job or a business where I can't get out. So I don't know how many of you feel the same ways. If you do, then have a think about that. Like, how many times have you wanted to be somewhere and you couldn't because you were scared to lose your job, or you couldn't leave your job, or leaving an hour earlier to be somewhere would have jeopardized everything you have? So basically, my dad went to hospital the next day, and he was in hospital for 2 weeks, and everything survived. The business is still functioning, and he had to start a treatment because they found he had cirrhosis of the liver and hepatitis C. So he had to start a treatment within 18 months, and he had to make the decision whether he wanted to do it or not, simply because the side effects of it were quite severe. The psychological side effects were astonishing. Like, people were trying to commit suicide, people were breaking windows if they weren't happy with their service. So it was very, 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 very scary decision my father and my family had to make. He did decide to do it, and fortunately enough, he didn't have the side effects. But unfortunately, it didn't cure his hepatitis C. Now, it was 18 months later, which was 2 years ago, I was introduced to these products because there was a new treatment coming out for him. But it was a lot stronger. And the doctors said that if he doesn't keep his blood levels up, he would have to stop. And that would mean that the psoriasis could be worse and his hepatitis C could be more aggressive. So I had nothing to lose. My family had nothing to lose. My father had nothing to lose. I gave them a go. Now, my dad was the only one out of 15 patients at the hospital where he did his treatment that successfully completed them. And the only thing that he did different to everyone else was take these supplements. Now, he still worked his 16-hour days, 7 days a week. He still ate what he wanted to eat. The only thing he did different was take his supplements morning and night. And since when I saw that my dad, his disease was gone, his virus was gone, and he continued to live his life just as he was, I was surprised. My mum's tried these products. I then got my mum on the products for her arthritis in her knees. And since then, I've decided, I looked at it and I said, wow, this is that opportunity I'm looking for. This is that thing that is going to make me change my life. And since then, well, as you can see, I've, done it. I've traveled around the world, and that's one of my trips when I was on Kentucky. That's my mom down in the corner, next to my dad. And then that's me with Jade and also another friend of ours. So, like, I work with Jade, but Jade's one of my best friends as well, and that's my brother up top. So all my family do this business, and the best thing about this business is I'm able to do it with my family, and we're able to all grow together, and that's fabulous. So that's a bit about me, and like Jade said, I have been traveling around for the last 5 months, and last year for 3 months, and that's what I do now. I travel the world and get paid to do it. So I'm going to show you why and how health is so important, and then Jade will come over and come along and tell you about the business and how you can change your life not only by health but also financially. So I'm going to get started. So I want you to have a think about there's actually 3 things that we all face today. So are we as physically healthy as we want to be? Are we as financially wealthy as we want to be? And do we have enough time to enjoy with our friends and family and do those things that we love to do? So if you believe that you're lacking in one of these, then have a listen, and we're going to show you how we can go around that. So here we've broken up into generations, yeah? So we've got Gen Ys. Now, I'm a Gen Y myself, and I know that back in the day when a new iPhone came out and I didn't have enough money to pay my phone bill, I managed to find enough money to get my iPhone. So Gen Ys, we always need more cash. And we also need a lot of energy to be, running around and doing those crazy, wonderful things that we do. Young mums. So young mums are always looking for the best nutrition for their family. But at the same time, they generally have to stay home with their children, and an income is getting sucked out of their household, so they're also at a financial strain. Families, so young families, so the mums and dads are running around at their job and then come home and they take their kids to dancing, to football, to soccer, to swimming, to an instrument, whatever it may be, and they always haven't got the time to be making that family meal at home, or they're spending so much money on these extracurricular activities because that's what they want their kids. They want their kids to have everything. So there's also financial strain there. And then we have our baby boomers. Now, our baby boomers, they basically built up, where we are, and they've worked all their life, and they're going to retire, and they're retiring, and they're not healthy enough. They're not able to enjoy their retirement. Or on the other hand, they've lost all their super due to the economic crisis that we've had, and they've actually had to go back into the workforce and not actually be able to retire. So just have a think about that, yeah? So here we're showing here how these degenerative diseases. So the world's leading cause of premature deaths are degenerative diseases. So we have here heart disease, strokes and cerebrovascular diseases, diabetes, female breast cancer, prostate cancer, cervical cancers, and all these other cancers. Now, I want you to look at the red. Those numbers in red are how preventable these diseases are. So all these people did not have to die. They could have been prevented. And on the right there, we've got that only 5% of cancers are actually hereditary. Non-inherited causes of cancer come from our lifestyle choices. What are we eating? How much are we exercising? What do we like to do? Is it smoking, drinking, partying? We've got to look at all these aspects that we contribute to our life. Now you're probably thinking, well, okay, yeah, I know all these things are happening, and I may know people who are affected by them, but why are they happening? What is actually happening in our body for us to be dying from these things? So across the page here, we have a healthy cell culture down the bottom there. And they're cells that when we're born, basically that's what they look like. They're buzzing around, they're nice and red, and they're vibrating off each other. But then we have a look at the damaged. Now that damaged cell there is basically from one unhealthy meal, one greasy meal. Okay? But what also causes all these things here are what we've got across the page. So stress, radiation, pollution, toxins, chemicals, pesticides, a poor diet, and GMO foods. Now, picture this, okay? You woke up this morning and you got out of bed and you probably snoozed your alarm about 4 or 5 times. Then you realize what time it was and you started stressing, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late to work, or the kid's going to be late to school. So then you get up and you go and have a shower, and all these chemicals from our water are going into our skin. And then we go and brush our teeth, and then we skip breakfast because we're running late. So just before we leave the house already, what damage have we done to our body? We've done a lot, haven't we? So we need to create an oxidation defense. So we know when we cut an apple open or an avocado, we squeeze lemon on it so it prevents it from going black. Yeah? So that's exactly what we need to be doing to our body. So you're thinking, how do we do that? That's great. Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but we actually need 59 vitamins and minerals. So here is an example of one, vitamin E. Now, vitamin E is good for our eyes, our skin, and our heart. So in order for us to get the optimal amount, not survival, optimal amount of vitamin E in our daily intake, we need to be eating 13 kilos of cooked spinach. Or if you're not a spinach person, maybe a kilo of almonds. And maybe not even almonds, how about 900 mils of sunflower oil? Now you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I can't eat all of that. One, I don't like any of that food that much to eat all that in one day, every day. But also, is it as cost effective as we think it is? So here, so here I'm showing you, this is our flagship product. They're the essentials. Now, in order to get these products actually have a balance of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that our body needs daily. So it's equivalent to either, if you don't want to take these, you're going to be eating 18.5 oranges. Maybe a tub of yogurt. Yeah, I can eat that. That's pretty cool. Simple. How about 44 large eggs, 85 medium bananas, or 10 whole chicken breasts a day? So you're approximately eating about 22,000 calories and spending on average $200 a day just for one person. Or we could use supplementation as a solution. Yeah? So out of you guys there, who would prefer to be using supplementation as a solution? Just write it in the chat box for me and I'll have a look. So yes, a lot of people do know that we should be using supplementation. But research has found that more than 50% of the supplements tested on the market actually don't disintegrate in our body. So they're actually not doing, we're paying the money and we're spending the time taking them, but they're not doing anything for us. So we're still getting these diseases. And 52% of Australians, so over here in Australia, 70% of them know that they under the age of 35 are taking them. And in New Zealand, 59% of adults use at least one supplement a day. So the market is there. People know that they should be taking it, but are they getting what they paid for? So this guy here on the side, his name is Dr. Myron Wentz, and he says most health supplements fall far short of meeting the nutritional needs of the body's cells. Now you're probably thinking, okay, who's he and why can he say that? So his name, he is Dr. Myron Wentz, and he's the founder of USANA Health Sciences. He is a microbiologist specializing in immunology. So his PhD is microbiology, specializing in immunology. Now, he founded Gull Laboratories in 1972, and he was a world leader in human cell culture and medical diagnostic technologies. So basically, he developed so many kits that are used worldwide, so about 38 of them that are used worldwide that still test different diseases that are happening today, infectious diseases. Now, after his mum passed and his brother passed and his dad passed, he was like, well, I can tell them that they're getting sick and I know what's wrong with them, but I don't know how to stop it or prevent it from happening. So that's when he shifted his research. He shifted from disease diagnosis to health prevention and maintenance. So in his field, he was an expert in growing cells. He understood that nutrition was actually helping the human cells. And he managed to keep cells alive in a petri dish exposed to oxygen in a lab for 30 years. His closest competitor did that for 14 hours. So he's pretty amazing, yeah? He founded USANA in 1992 and he opened his own medical clinic in Mexico where it's a holistic approach, and they've had a tremendous record on the reversal of cancers and other different diseases. He's also been awarded the Albert Einstein Award for outstanding achievement in life sciences in 2007, and him and one other person were awarded that. So he's made such an amazing impact into this industry and into so many different lives. It's phenomenal. Now, this is his vision. He dreams of a world free from pain and suffering. He says, "I dream of a world free from disease. The Usana family will be the healthiest family on earth. Share my vision, love life, and live it to its fullest in happiness and health." Now, when I saw that, I was like, wow, this man is amazing, and if I could do any bit of this, it would be tremendous. Like, I would love to help him share this vision, and that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. So here I'm going to be telling you about why is Usana different? That's great. Yeah, we know we need supplements. We know that, we're not eating the right foods. Our soils are depleted, and we're all getting sick, and we don't know why. And we know that this Dr. Myron Wenson is an amazing man, and he founded Usana. But what makes Usana so different to everyone else? Well, first of all, his vision being that grand, he chose to also keep his products, make them adhere to a pharmaceutical grade, which means that they're made like a Panadol, in the sense of, we know when we take a Panadol, we know how long it takes to dissolve in our body, we know how long it takes till it starts relieving pain. We know what it's actually doing in our body. And that's the same as our vitamins. Our vitamins are made to a pharmaceutical grade. We know that in 20 minutes of ingesting these vitamins, we know that they will be dissolved in our bloodstream. We know where they're going, if they're helping what part of our body. So, also to adhere to that vision, he's also got 100% potency guarantee. So you've got here his potency guarantee and his signature. He signs every bottle. His signature is on every bottle to say that he's making what he says he's making. We source our ingredients, so they're superior ingredients from all over the world, from the best places. So, and they also go through a quarantine. So if they are not good at the raw ingredient, they get shipped out. They do not even enter the manufacturing area. Balanced science formulas. So scientists are making these products and formulating them and seeing what they're actually doing to the body. And everything is made in Salt Lake City, so exceptional in-house manufacturing. Now, last but not least, we have our athlete guarantee. Now, that means that all paid athletes can take our products, and they're not paid to take our products. They choose to endorse them because they believe that our product is amazing. Now, if they do get tested for enhanced drugs in their system, and it relates back to Usana will pay them up to $1 million. So that's how sure we are. And we have over 600 elite athletes taking our products. So we cater for adults, but we also cater for teens and children. Okay, and over here to the right-hand side, we have this picture of a man called Dr. Lyle McWilliams and his book, which is called The Guide to Nutritional Supplements. Now, he was commissioned by the Canadian government to test different products from North America, and then it came to Australia, New Zealand, and then Europe. Okay, and we have this book, and in this book for both Australia and New Zealand, Usana is ranked #1. Now, he tested over 2,000 different brands and different supplements, and only 1,600 made it to the book. And for the last 10 consecutive years, Usana has been #1 with a 5-star rating. So that's pretty amazing, and this is a third independent study. This is not something that we do. It's independent. So you agree, my health and your health is completely different, yeah? So we also cater for everyone's different needs. So we cater for the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, the cellular system, skeletal, endocrine, and digestive system. Okay? We also have a great food range. Now, these products are used not only to lose weight, but also to gain weight and to bulk up or to shred, or for someone who's just on the run and needs that, that nutritional-based breakfast just to keep them going till they hit lunch and they can, chill out and have a nice lunch. Okay, shake it up and you're on your way. We've also got beautiful, delicious bars, and they're all gluten-free and low GI. So low GI diets, so not just these products, but low GI diets in general, they promote better sugar level and insulin control. They help with disease prevention such as type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, gallbladder disease, breast cancer. They also increase your energy, and by increasing our energy, it's also improving our moods. Like when you're not crashing and you're like, oh, I'm so angry, and then, yeah, no, we don't do that here. We also have an energy drink. Now, as you can see there, we've got other products that are there, like Red Bull and Rockstar and Monster. Now, you're looking at how many teaspoons of sugar are in them. Now, the sugar alone is scary. So our product, Rev 3, has the same amount of sugar as 1.5 red apples. Not to mention that these other products have a chemical called aspartame in them. Now, aspartame is something that has caused brain cancer in the past. Okay, so it basically pops our brain vessels, and our brain starts to shrink, and it enlarges our heart. So it's not the best thing for us to be drinking. Whereas our product here, it's made from green tea, white tea, black tea extracts. It's got L-carnitine in it, which is a natural fat burner, ginseng, and a curcumin, which also promotes better endurance for like a pre-workout. So it's making oxygen go through your blood and giving you better endurance while you're training, and also in your day-to-day activities, helping you get those things done. And here we have our beautiful Sensei. So this product did take 10 years to make. Now, simply because he wanted it perfected, Dr. Myron Wentz didn't want it, just slacking off on the skincare, because every part of the body is important, and the skin is the largest organ, and that's where we excrete most of our toxins, but also where most of our toxins get absorbed into the body. So these products are all chemical free, and they're all self-preserving. So when you have a shower, so they've done tests, okay, with a guy. So he's washed his hair, he's gone in the shower, he's washed his hair, washed his body, gone out, and he's done a urine sample 10 minutes later. They actually found this chemical called parabens, they're preservatives, floating in his urine. Now, parabens in males, when that happens, it reduces their sperm count, and it can also make them infertile. Okay, so this is something that is also serious for males, not just females who wash their face and do their masks and all that stuff. Yeah, and for women, 95% of tumors that have been removed from breast cancer patients and been tested have actually had parabens sitting in there. So parabens are a chemical that were introduced into a lot of skincare, or to all skincare, in the 50s and 60s. And they absorb into fatty tissue. So women, we've got a lot of fatty tissue around our breast area, yeah, and the guys more around their groin area. So this is where they're lodging themselves, and they're hibernating and living and infecting our body. So it's very important that we are aware of what we're putting not only on our inside but also on our outside. Yeah, we want to be looking after our whole body from a holistic point of view, not just what we need here and there. So yeah, so here we've got some celebrities who choose to take our products. Again, they're not paid to take our products or endorse our products. So we've got people like Samuel L. Jackson, we've got Jennifer Hewitt, Paris Hilton, and Mel B. I'm sure you've seen her on some TV ads before. If you haven't, look her up. Not using Usana there, but she does use Usana a lot. We've got Jason Priestley and Mario Lopez. And here are some of our world-class exceptional athletes. So I don't know if you guys remember Michael Johnson, fastest runner in the 96 Olympics. Serena Williams. Now she's a part of the Women's Tennis Association, and they're only allowed to take our products. So we've just renewed our contract with them. So anyone in the Women's Tennis Association that want to take products can only take USANA's products. And we've also got Timothy Bradley and Manny Pacquiao. Now Manny Pacquiao, he's also a Ruby director in the business, which means once he retires from his career, he's got a very successful business that is still ongoing for him once he's retired from his boxing. So yes, that's all from me. And now I'm going to pass you over to Jade, and Jade is going to tell you, this lady, she's amazing. She has an 18-month-old son, and she's getting married in 3 weeks, so it's so exciting. And she started this business when she was heavily pregnant, and she will go through that with you. But she's an amazing woman and an exceptional leader, and I really am grateful to her because she showed me, basically taught me how I can do what I do now. And so she's a very wise woman, and I'd really like to bring her to the stage. So thank you so much, guys.
Hi guys, I'm back again. So did you guys learn something from tonight? Are you going to implement what you learned? Yes? Amazing. Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm going to get started with a few things that I would like to tell you about myself, if that's okay. Okay, so we here at USANA are people that are very much about quality of time and quality of life. So I'm going to take you back to when I was 19, and I was actually hit by a drunk driver. So what happened was, it was one Friday night, and I was taking my brother to a birthday party, and unfortunately a drunk driver travelling at 90 k's hit me from behind and crushed my car. He left me with spinal injuries and, unfortunately, a lot of damage to my back. So